All right, what's up, guys? Another podcast with Eli and Mike. Oh my God, guys, you have no idea who we have today. Fashion, Metropolitan, shows, runways. I mean, Jesus,
Right.
this is exactly what me and Mike love.
Yes.
And we want to introduce you guys Eduardo Khawam.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here. And as you know, guys, I just got back from Venezuela, my home country. We did our first edition of Metropolitan Fashion Week in Caracas.
Wow.
Oh my God, congratulations. Jess,
Thank
we know you just literally landed and you're here in our studio. So thank you for being here. So excited. And your first show in Venezuela, correct?
That was our first edition in Venezuela. Yes.
Wow,
It was
okay.
Very great. I mean, I couldn't ask for more. I'm so blessed because it was always a dream
Yes.
to do something in Venezuela in my home country.
Got it.
And it happened thanks to one of our friends, Jacqueline Aguilera and her team.
Wow.
This dream
Wow.
of mine came to reality.
Beautiful. And I was
Wow.
just about to ask you because you guys control the Western Hemisphere with fashion. And I was wondering, what is he doing in Venezuela? But it's your hometown, and that is so meaningful. So this, like you said, this has been a dream of yours to make a difference there, or be back in your hometown.
Yeah, actually, the idea was I went to Venezuela for 5 weeks to visit my family. So one of my friends who was in the industry, she said, Eduardo, you're coming to Venezuela, we should produce Metropolitan Fashion Week Caracas. I'm like, Jacqueline, I only know 3 people in the industry in Caracas. I said, think about it. So in 2 days, she convinced me, and in 45 days, she really produced this amazing show. Everything with the guidelines of Metropolitan Fashion Week. It was just fantastic.
And literally on the other side of the world, in 45 days, you made it happen.
Yes.
Wow.
Down south.
That's
South
so
my
America.
God.
South America.
Wow. South
Huh.
America.
Around
Congrats,
the globe.
congrats to
Yeah,
making
thank
a
you.
change in your
Yeah.
hometown.
Yeah,
That's like, I feel like a lot of people's dream to go back to their hometown and make some type
The
of
home country or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
It was just amazing. I mean, we started, I started the fashion industry over 16 years ago,
okay.
but Metropolitan Fashion Week, this is its 12th anniversary, 12th year.
Yes.
But the
That's-
first one in Venezuela.
Okay,
So,
fantastic.
Congrats.
I can imagine that giving you like amazing goosebumps going back to your main hometown and throwing some amazing show for people to see that all your hard work is all put together like that.
Yeah, actually, I was talking about it a few days ago after the show, that it's one thing when you go and visit the, as you know, Metropolitan Fashion Week, it's also about the venues, historical
Yes.
buildings, iconic locations, and museums.
Yes.
So when we do shows in example, we're in Los Angeles, we go and check out the venues, fabulous. But one thing is when you go to your country where you were born and you see the flag and they open the doors and you see the venue, it's a different feeling,
Wow.
And I got a little bit emotional, so I step away for a second and then come back.
Alright.
Hi, okay, let's go back to work.
Yes,
You know?
exactly,
So, yes.
exactly. Oh my God, I feel the emotions. Like it's still here. You just landed.
Yeah.
You just made a difference. So
Oh,
beautiful.
Thank you.
But you're in fashion, and one thing that we like to do is kind of go back a little bit, and we want to know because you have changed literally fashion here on the western side of the United States. It's just so amazing. But where did it all start? Did you always have this drive to dress yourself or other people? Like when did this start? Were you small? Did it happen in college? Did it happen where did this all start?
So growing up if you were back in the 80s in my bedroom, I had one wall. It was all photos of airplanes.
Okay.
All kinds of airplanes, from small planes to Concorde to amazing airplanes. And the other side, I had photos of superstars and fashion, all about fashion.
Okay.
Mostly women, right?
Loves it.
Supermodels.
Okay, yes.
So when I was a kid, I wanted to be a pilot or a fashion designer.
Okay.
But I was back in my mind, I knew I wanted to come to. I'm talking about. I was born in a small town
Okay.
south of Venezuela near Brazil. It's a big city in the jungle. Right?
Okay.
So I'm back in my mind someday, Hollywood. I don't know what. Not an actor because I don't know. I cannot memorize scripts, right?
Okay.
And then I was 18 when I came to the US the first time. I came to the US to study English.
Okay.
Went back home, and I came back when I was 23 and stayed here. And I started working in the Hollywood industry as an assistant. Helping put in the red carpet, the table on the red carpet.
Wow.
And little by little, I built myself in the production part of Hollywood behind the scenes.
Did you let the dream of wanting to be a pilot at this point go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Math and math.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
That's why.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
a fashion design, right?
Mhm.
But after 8 years in Los Angeles, I think it was 2004.
Okay.
I was not very happy I was not very happy. I was at a point in life like I just do not want to be in LA. I do not want to be
Okay.
in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I did produce a big show, a men's fashion event, and I mean, it was a huge success. But I wasn't happy as a person in Los Angeles. So I finished my event and I said, I'm out of here, LA, and I went to Seattle. I just drove to Seattle.
Okay.
I've been there.
What made you choose Seattle really quick?
Because Seattle, Vancouver, Metro City.
Okay.
So I decided to go because I felt LA was too big for me. I was not very happy. I wasn't happy. I felt like the city was controlled. Did you ever see La La Land?
Yes.
That's kind of like
Okay,
my story.
I see that.
Okay,
She left, came back anyhow.
Okay.
So I go to Seattle and then started from zero there.
Got it.
And I just wanted to be away from Hollywood. So actually my first job, I remember like for a month I was looking for a job and my resume was either too good or not good enough. Not
Oh,
in Seattle, right?
Okay.
In Seattle. So
Yes.
I remember after a month I walked into a shopping center.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call Pacific Place. And then I looked up and I saw a restaurant and I went up and I said, I'm going to put my resume in right away. I walked in well dressed and I said to the receptionist, do you have a job as a dishwasher?
Wow.
She looked at me and she said, you don't look like a dishwasher. I was like, what do I look like?
Wow.
I have to make it right or wrong.
Mhm.
You could look like it with the orange. Like,
True.
Give me a job as a manager. So anyway, I got a job as a server.
Okay.
I can lie with my resume. I'm sure Fernando's gonna be watching this.
Okay,
Ex-
okay.
Executive chef back then.
Okay.
It's okay.
And then after a month, they put me in the office and I said, "Is this you?" Because they Google me,
Okay.
and they see that I'm back fixing Hollywood. I
Wow.
said, "What are you doing here working as a server?"
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, so I thought they were gonna fire me because I could lie in my
Of
resume.
course.
Mhm.
And they actually said, "Can you do a show for us here?" Seattle.
What?
Anyhow, it was all good.
Okay.
But
So the restaurant wanted you to do a show for them.
something.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Because they saw how to back it
Okay.
up. But anyhow, I was not going to fire me because it was lying.
Okay.
But anyhow, while I was in Seattle, I did get a job. I'm not going to say names of the companies, but I got a job traveling out of the US doing events for a very, very big company.
Amazing.
And this is where everything starts from in the world of fashion.
Okay.
I'm going to make this long story
We love
very short.
Okay.
Take as long as
Because I know
Mhm.
how I'm back in fashion. To me, I was like, kid, I want to be a fashion designer.
Mhm.
So in 2005, as I was working for the restaurant, I get this job offer traveling out of the US doing private events for big celebrities.
Okay.
And then after a year, something happened. Somebody with a lot of power did not like the idea that a Latino, my parents being from the Middle East, had successful. So this person with a lot of power told me, I'm going to do everything to get you out of this country because people like you don't deserve to be here. There's more to the story.
Oh
I'm
my
making it
God.
very short.
Oh, what?
I thought at that moment that I was going to be the next Matthew Shepard
Okay.
because he was in the middle of nowhere in Montana.
Okay.
And I knew if I was there by myself with this person, I'll be dead by now.
Oh, of course.
Anyhow,
That's
so
so shocking.
he
Oh my
did.
gosh.
He did everything. He delivered everything I built in 10, 12 years as an immigrant, green card, work permit, an apartment,
Right.
life in the US.
Right.
He had the power to wipe me out.
No
Basically,
way.
I lost work permit, bank account. At the end of the day, I had to sell everything to pay for lawyers.
Like this individual literally went after you.
Yes. So he has a lot of power, right? I'm not going to say what position he has because
Yeah.
people in his position
Right.
are very nice.
Right.
Do you feel like it was your immigration status? That's the only real reason why.
No,
you
I
got out?
have my work permit.
It was because of who you were.
Yes.
The power.
Somebody who did not like the idea, right?
Okay.
Have a
Oh my God.
um.
So then they take away your green card.
He did everything.
Everything.
Everything. I built
Oh
10
my
years. It was
God.
gone,
Oh
right?
my God.
Wiped out.
Okay.
And then, so for 3 years, I had to sell everything I had to pay to lawyers to defend my case. In 2008, I get a letter from Homeland Security denying my work permit. So I called two of my friends and I said, I'm done. I'm out of here. He wins.
Oh.
And I'm going to cross the border. I'm going to go to Canada and start all over as an immigrant.
So the dream was crushed right there.
Everything's crashed. Like, I'm done. It's like building and something they just reach. And I tell my friend, I said, unless there's a sign that I'm supposed to stay here, I will stay. But I don't want a dream. I want something like tangible, right?
Yes.
Something like
I want to touch it
Yeah.
and see it at everything. Right?
So the next day, a friend of mine had offered me a job to work kind of under the table.
Okay.
And when I went to the job the next day very early with a very bad attitude, very bad in a bad mood,
Right.
treating everybody badly. So I was like, oh, this is not me. I'm not that kind of person because I was frustrated, right?
Right. Of course.
So I told myself, I'm gonna go to the gym, work out, come down, and go back to work. So I go to the gym. This is where everything starts. This is like the best part of the world.
Okay.
Wow.
It was like
So
my
shit.
worst day as an immigrant in the US. The day I said, I'm done, I can't, all my dreams was crushed, my American dream, everything. So I go to the gym, I walk in with a very, very bad attitude.
Okay.
I go upstairs, I change my clothes, and then when I go to the gym to work out, it was empty. It was like a huge gym and there was nobody there.
Okay.
So as I'm working out, I'm like, why this happened to me?
Okay.
Blaming everybody
Okay.
for me. But at the same time, I was like, God, if you really exist, I need to know that I'm supposed to stay here because I'm done. It was a very hard time.
Of course.
As I'm working out, I wonder if he's gonna see this interview someday. As I'm
Okay.
working out, I hear somebody listening to very loud music in earphones.
Okay.
And in my mind's like, who is listening? Blah, beep. Loud music at the time.
Right.
So I was in a bad mood, right?
Yeah.
I turn around. It was like, what, like 10 feet away from you, 20. I go towards him. He stands up. He removes his earphones. And I said, are you Senator Barack Obama? Yes.
What? Oh my God.
Out of all places, you run into the future president.
Yes.
Barack
A
Obama.
few months before the elections.
Oh my God.
He said yes. And he was the nicest person you can meet. Right away, I knew he was going to be next. But I'm not into politics,
Okay.
but this is my story.
Okay.
That's what I have to tell, right?
Right.
So we never spoke about politics or
Mhm.
what happened to me or so.
Okay.
We spoke about Seattle.
Okay.
And then I knew at that moment, it was his private moment, that he had a rally, a big event at the arena.
Yeah.
So he was, getting ready for that. So I said, oh,
Yes.
nice to meet you. And I went. And then after that, we started working out again. And I said, oh, before we leave, can we take a photo? Because nobody's going to believe in I'm here with you.
Right.
He
Right.
said
right.
yes. We took the photo.
Okay.
And he said, welcome to the US. I hope we're treating you very well. I want to see more people like you.
Wow.
And he left. When he left, I went back to one of the machines and I sat down like, that Eduardo that I told you that was complaining,
Mm-hmm.
whining for me, blaming everybody, was gone.
Wow. So,
Like
there you-
instantly gone.
Gone.
so you were reborn, basically.
Wow.
Reborn, and I
Oh my God.
Reborn. And I sent this photo to two friends. Look who I just met. And then in 10 minutes, one of the local news in Seattle calls me. We got this photo. Is this you? And then they were asking me questions. What did I talk about with President Obama?
President
Nah.
Obama. Oh
Right?
my God. Yeah.
And then they asked me permission to show the photo. And then the gym, remember I told you I walked in?
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to be there, but the actual receptionist, she thought I was FBI, Secret Service.
Oh, okay.
Because she said, as I'm there with him, people were like, who let this guy in? And Secret Service was there. The girl did not get fired. She almost got fired at reception. And
Oh, wow.
I let him in because he had a dog face. I thought he was a Secret Service.
Oh my God.
Anyhow, so
Wow.
the gym.
Wow. So you
was-
needed that face.
Yes.
You needed
I
that
actually,
face.
I was.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. This is
So-
a crazy story.
The gym doubled in memberships in a week, so they gave me a two-year free membership.
Oh my God.
There you go. So anyhow, that
Congrats,
day,
congrats.
so
Yes.
that day, when that happened, I only had $200 left with me.
Okay.
Literally $200 cash, no bank account because I spent so much money
Yes.
for it that I was
Right.
overdrawn.
Yes,
blah, blah,
yes, yes. This was a hard day for you.
Yes.
Oh my
Go
gosh.
hard 3
Well,
years, but that
Yes.
was like
that
when
was
I
the
bottom, right?
You were defeated.
So when I meet him and this happens, my attitude changed from poor me to oh no, poor me, poor you.
Yeah.
So my attitude became, I remember going to my apartment, I looked at myself in the mirror, and I told myself, I am going to be so big that I'm going to have celebrities and politicians in my shelves or whatever I'm going to do. I didn't know what I was going to do at the moment. That he is going to regret because he just created a monster.
Oh.
So my attitude changed from negative to positive, right?
Wow.
And my friend, she said, I told her, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm staying here. She
Okay.
said, why don't you produce a fashion show? I'm like, in Seattle? It rains a lot? It's like, you have,
That's it,
yeah,
that's it.
basically. And I said, well, you have background in production. Like they know I produce very well shows on time and clean and do a fashion show.
Mhm.
So I had no money, so she helped me, with some money invested. I produced a.
Are we allowed to say her name?
Yes, Niveen Carrero from Adicora
Niveen.
Swimwear.
Okay. Shout out. We love you. We love you.
Niveen Carrero from Adicora Swimwear. She's a swimwear designer.
Oh, amazing.
And what was the name of the first show? The name was the Forbidden Fashion Show.
Okay.
Alright.
I wish we were there.
I like that.
Oh my god.
It was about a swimwear for men and women, lingerie and underwear.
Oh my
Very
god.
small space, and I made $1,000.
Okay.
Hey,
Congrats.
I made at least to survive, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Yes.
On the third year, this Forbidden Fashion was so big in the city of Seattle. It was like the Victoria's Secret of Seattle.
Okay, love that.
In 2 days, I will sell out. Everybody will show up, and everybody from the big companies, the producers started in Seattle, they will come to the event. So after 3-4 years, a lot of designers want to be part of the show. So it's like, well, this is becoming like a real job.
Okay.
Everybody to be part of it. So that's when we said, okay, no more Forbidden Show. Now we need to open up for other stuff. So that's where we founded Metropolitan Fashion.
And what year was that exactly when you started?
So it was launched 2011, but the first gala, I remember telling my friends, our first gala, first main show. Remember, I want to be a pilot, right?
Yes.
So over there in Seattle, we have the Boeing field,
Yes.
the Museum of Flight. So I said, our first Metropolitan Fashion Week closing gala is going to be at the Museum of Flight,
Oh, what? My
airplanes,
God, you guys.
and
Wow.
designers.
Oh my god.
Hold up. You just brought up your past right into one.
What's yours is yours. What's yours is yours. I never made
Oh
a
my God.
pilot, was a designer, but here I am producing a show at the Museum of Flight in Seattle, which is absolutely fantastic.
And Boeing being one of the most best, airlines
you can
out
see,
there.
you have to see the first malls walking around the airplanes, and so we finished the show, and one of the sponsors, she says, Eduardo, we need to do the show in LA. I'm like, I am not going back to LA.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah. You
She
escaped.
said, Eduardo, I'll pay for your flight and everything. Okay, fine. So it took me a year in LA, going back and forth, looking for the right venue, study the market to make sure that there's other LA fashion weeks.
Yes.
What can we do that is not competing but complementing each other?
Got
How can we complement fashion week in general, not just competing with the other?
I get that.
Right. And finally we found the venue, and the first venue was Pasadena City Hall.
Oh wow.
We closed down 3 streets, and that's where the show was.
No
Wow.
way.
So it was an outside venue.
Outside venue.
Okay,
Wow.
got it.
So
And
the backdrop
Pasadena.
was Pasadena City Hall.
Okay.
Wow.
And I had plan A, B, and C. I said, okay, plan A, only 200 people would show up. I'm new back in LA,
Okay.
but 800 people showed up, all the media. And I remember how I told you how I ran away from LA and I
Yes.
went back. When I came back the second time, I loved LA because I knew how to handle the city. I knew how to surround myself with positive people and how to cut the negativity. Because
I love that.
how the industry is
Yes.
in LA.
Yes. Right.
If you're very innocent, they can drag you down.
Yeah,
100%.
But when I came back, I knew how to deliver. I knew how to who to talk to and who to work with.
You're much stronger.
Yes,
Love
I knew how
that.
to ride the horse, not
Wow.
the horse like
Exactly.
fell the road, right?
Right.
That's what I said.
Stampede
And
on you.
so we did our first show in LA, and it was a big success. A few days before that, I was invited to promote the show on KTLA and Telemundo and other stations.
Fantastic.
When I was done with the show, the Telemundo says, "Hey, your segment had ratings. Can you come back and do something?" Like, well, I'm not a reporter. It's gotta do something. People like you.
Yeah.
And since then, on Acceso Total, on Telemundo in LA, we do we produce fashion segments,
Love
and
that.
a lot of them also on KTLA.
Are we able to research your fashion segments even today, like on YouTube?
Google.
Or-
We're googling. We're googling.
We're gonna
Oh my
check
God.
it.
You can
You
actually
guys Google.
You can
Yes.
also, it's all on Metropolitan Fashion Week Instagram, on our website,
Yes.
and Eduardo Khawam, and you can see some of the fashion segments that we've done in different stations.
Yes.
Right? So Metropolitan Fashion Week started with $200,
Right. I was about to say.
right? And this is what I tell everybody, the young generation. It's like, what's yours is yours. If you cannot become a doctor for any reason, maybe you're gonna be running a hospital.
I love that.
If you cannot be a real estate agent, you're probably gonna have your own real estate with the best real estate agents, right? In my case, I was never able to be a fashion designer or a pilot, but right now I produce shows in amazing venues. and highlighting and supporting a lot of good designers, fashion
Wow.
designers.
Wow.
What's yours? Yours.
But
Yeah.
Yours is so powerful.
Yeah. One thing I was
Wow.
one thing I want to mention, that saying what's yours is yours, when you really want something, but you don't get it, but if you really wish in your heart, it's gonna happen. I'll give you this is like real story.
Wow.
When this thing happened and my work permit was taken away, the same time my ultimate dream was to work for Cirque du Soleil.
Okay.
So I applied for a job.
We love Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah,
We've
it's
seen like
so,
every-
right?
Our
Oh my
favorite
god,
shows.
like
So I applied for a job in Santa Monica because I used to come to Santa Monica.
okay.
And then they came back, they were offering me a bigger job to travel all over the world to look for talent. Because I
Wow.
speak 3 languages, right?
Okay. Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
In
what-
one of the
what
languages,
languages,
yeah. We do know.
Spanish, obviously,
You know.
and Arabic.
Never
That's
heard that.
beautiful.
Yeah, I'm a person
Wow.
Middle East, so I grew up speaking Arabic.
Beautiful.
I don't know how to write or read it, just speak it.
There you go.
But
Hey, that's something. That's
It's
something.
for sure.
So, what was that?
Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil,
Yes,
that's right.
Yes, yes.
So, the same time this was happening to me, Cirque du Soleil offers me a better position,
God,
but I have to decline to tell them why. I told them I'm very busy, I can't take your job. They offer.
Oh my god. This
But
is Cirque
actually,
du
I was
Soleil.
going through hard times. I could not travel. All this
Okay.
is happening, right?
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So I got depressed for a day. I was like, oh, this is happening to me, but
Oh, yes.
hold on.
Okay.
But when I started doing the shows,
Mhm.
sometimes I will use their music on our shows,
Got
which
it.
is not supposed to, but you
Okay.
can, but you cannot, but you can, but you
Right,
can't,
right. There's a lot of.
It's okay.
Fast forward,
Okay.
2016, we're producing our second show at Warner Brothers Studios.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Congratulations!
Love that.
Congratulations.
Okay, like this
Yes.
is like doing a show at
Oh yeah.
Warner Brothers Studios background, right?
Oh my god.
I mean, how did you feel coming from Seattle and coming back to LA? Like, just because you're already doing all these things you did at Pasadena, you're in Warner Brothers in Hollywood. How do you feel just knowing that you went from there to here? Because I know you didn't want to come back.
Well, when I came back,
Stronger.
well, stronger, and then people said, "Well, come on, give it another chance."
So like,
Okay.
the push
And then I
forget
came
it.
back knowing how to deliver and how to cut the negativity around me.
Got it.
Like, before it was like I will let people kind of like
Mhm.
believe in them and then they just bring you down.
Yes.
Now I need how to cut the beep and move on.
Love it.
Right?
Love it. Yes. Exactly.
You
Exactly.
think you was something.
You know. And
Uh,
actually, even before we get to Warner Brothers Studios,
Yeah.
so you're telling us that all this occurred because you ran into President Obama and you went into the mirror and told yourself, that's it.
You just created a monster.
Oh,
This
my
person, right?
Oh my God. Okay,
So
so,
let's
then
go
fast forward to
Yeah.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Let's get back to Warner Brothers.
Yes.
The person,
Yes.
the
Okay.
person X, and
Got
Cirque
it.
du Soleil. So,
Yes.
this was like June 2016. Exactly the moment that I found out that this person who made my life miserable
Okay.
went to jail. I did not put him there. Somebody else did.
Oh,
Lost his job and
Karma.
everything. Karma.
Oh my God.
An hour after, we were driving. I get an email from one of our interns. And she said, "Oh, you gotta read this email because it's kind of weird, interesting." And it says, Cirque du Soleil X Metropolitan Fashion Week. This is an hour when I found out that this guy, I'm like, this sounds like they're gonna sue me. Heck, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
And then I tell Paul, the executive producer of Metropolitan Fashion Week, I don't look at this. I don't know. I could not take that call.
right.
So he makes the call. We were in the middle of nowhere in Montana.
Mhm.
No, sorry, making it short, right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
then he,
Those are the best trips.
yeah, and then he makes the call, and then he has the people from New York, the headquarters in Canada, and Vegas. He comes back to me crying. I'm like, are they gonna sue me, right?
Right. Why are you crying?
I was really like scared. I say,
Yes.
no, day one to be part of your show. I'm like, what?
I'm gonna
I don't have the
buy
money to pay
myself.
Soleil. I did not. I said first thing, like,
Yeah.
I don't have money to pay from a Metropolitan Fashion Week. Say,
Yeah.
no, they want to be part of it. This is an hour exactly after I found out this person. So a week after, I'm in Las Vegas, signing a contract. It was the first time that Cirque du Soleil in Vegas sent one artist per show. And one of their shows, they used to have before Zumanity,
Mhm.
they sent 20 of their artists to perform and walk the runway.
I have to Google.
What's yours?
I'm so shocked right
It's yours. I never had a chance to work for them, but Life and Karma brought it to me. They came to perform at Metropolitan Fashion Week.
now.
So that's why I always says, like, sometimes we're gonna fight for something, we're not gonna make it, but if it's yours, belongs to you, it's gonna come one way or the other.
Yes. You literally made the magic happen. You invited like the goodness in your heart. You just meant to build something and create something
Yeah.
from when you were a child, and you manifested it by just
Yeah.
being a really good person, pursuing your goals and your dreams, and by pushing off that negativity of that one particular person that kind of ruined your life for a little bit. You were able to secretly, through your magic, that guy went to jail, probably because
And,
of a lot of bad
and tell
blood.
us how you feel about that, actually.
So now that I look back, it's very important to forgive, right?
Of course. Yeah.
So now that I look back, I am so like I wish I can sit down with him and let him thank you for everything you did, because what you did, you pushed me to reinvent myself.
Mhm.
To be, if it wasn't for that moment, I will not be here. I will not have what I have. I will not be self-employed for like, I don't know, 16 years. I don't work for anybody.
Wow.
So I wish I can sit down with him and say, thank you. Here's some flower chips. What else do you want?
Yeah,
I wish I
yeah.
had 4 seasons if they want.
Right.
So now I see it as something that really made me miserable. I lost everything. Now I see it as something so positive. Because, I mean,
Wow.
it pushed me to reinvent myself. I remember like I wrote everything. I wrote exactly what I wanted, how my house is going to be, how my car is going to be, how my partner is going to be, how everything I wanted. And I reached that and 1,000 times more. I can die tomorrow. It's not going to happen.
Right.
I'm going to bury you.
Right. Yeah.
But
Oh
if
my
I
God.
die tomorrow,
Right. Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I die tomorrow, you can say, I did it all.
Wow.
I feel like the
Like
universe
some-
gave you such a
Yes.
amazing
Yes.
gift. I mean, the universe gave you a gift of just being able to forgive and to be able to sit in front of your enemy at the time and be able to forgive and say, hey, by the way, like you were meant to be placed here to make my life better.
Yeah.
And I think that happens to a lot of people. A lot of people don't know how to accept that and realize, hey,
Right.
the mistakes you're causing, the problems that you're doing to me are actually going to benefit me in the future and make me stronger. Versus like, you didn't take it the wrong way. You actually said, I'm doing this. I'm going to
Yeah.
be stronger instead of I'm done, I'm leaving. And you didn't give
Yeah.
up.
And I think it's the attitude, when you change your attitude from negative to positive, you can reach the stars. But some people say, oh, because Obama. Some people say, well, Obama actually was the push, but I could have still kept that
Oh,
negative
yeah.
attitude. When
Most definitely.
I begged for a sign, he was there, and I just managed it.
Yeah.
No more for me. It's like, oh, no more for me. I'm gonna make it. I
Yes,
came
no
to
more
reach
for you.
the American dream.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I feel like I already achieved that dream of Hollywood, not as an actor,
Yes.
but more in the fashion industry.
That's
Yes.
amazing. Your story is so fulfilling. And to pivot a little bit, how do you feel about meeting all these celebrities? I mean, you've met people like Ryan Seacrest, like Nicole Kidman, and all these
Oh, do you know
individuals.
about Ryan Seacrest? You did your series?
Of course we
Right,
did.
right,
Of course
right.
we
So
did.
Tom
Ryan
Cruise.
Seacrest, because when we did this men's fashion, it was a male models competition. So they sent models from all over the world. It used to be called Zeus, like the god of
Okay.
the world. That was
Oh my
2004.
goodness.
Remember that
Okay.
show that I did and I left LA? I dropped everything.
Yes.
So he used to have his own show, his own talk
Oh.
show. So he highlighted that show nationwide. So we got to work with him and his team. And
Wow.
yes.
That's amazing. So does it give you any shockwave feels knowing the fact that there's huge, I mean, we're talking about worldwide
Yes.
celebrity names.
Mhm.
Just throw in the names Ryan Seacrest, Nicole Kidman, all these insane names.
Right.
People know, like, they know who they are.
They're like walking on your runways,
Or
picking
they're working
items
or
like
collaborating.
Lady
Yeah.
Well, Nicole
Gaga.
Kidman has not walked the runway. I wish. Nicole Kidman
Okay,
did,
there you
right?
go. Next,
But,
next.
But I want to mention a few people that I really enjoyed working with them.
Yes.
In 2018, every year we honor someone in the industry. 2018, we were honoring three-time Academy Award winner Venia. She won 3 Oscars for Best Makeup Artist.
Wow.
So that year we she was the recipient of the Excellence Award. So as a recipient, we asked the person, who do you want to give you the award?
Mhm.
So she calls us and she say, is it okay if Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper give me the award? I'm like, you're asking me permission? Because
That
it was
is
the
precious.
release of the movie Star is Born that she did.
Oh
the
yes.
makeup.
Yes.
Okay. And
Then-
she did her makeup on that.
And that movie, yeah.
Okay.
And then after a day or so, she calls like, oh, they're not available because they're traveling because it was the release of the movie.
Yes.
And she said, but is it okay with you if Steve Carell presents me the award. I'm like, you're asking me if it's okay.
Wow.
And I'm talking about Steve Carell because he's such a big celebrity.
Oh yes, oh
with
my
the
God.
best attitude. We
Mhm.
offered him a car. We offered him this. He was doing two movie. He released 2 movies that year.
Yes,
And he was very busy traveling. He was actually in Colorado. What's the name of that big town? I almost forgot the town.
Aspen.
Aspen.
Aspen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a big
Was it
festival.
that?
Yeah,
Maybe I'm
it was
wrong.
there was a big festival there.
Okay,
actually,
I hope I'm not
Took
wrong.
a private jet flew to LA in his own expense, drove all the way to the show just to present the award. And he walked in with the best attitude.
Wow.
And this is why he is who he is. You attitude.
God,
You know, and I will always mention him because it's the best example as when you're working with big celebrities.
I love this. I love this.
Yeah.
So much, obviously, ups and downs. But we do like to even go back a little bit if we can. And, you know, obviously, you have to have some certain type of drive to pull yourself out of these times. Do you feel like you got a lot of this like power from maybe your parents? Do you have any brothers and sisters? How was your like life as a child to make you, you know, see yourself as you are today?
Well, my parents did everything to give me the best.
Okay.
I'm the oldest of five.
Wow.
5 kids.
Okay.
And
You're the youngest?
I'm the oldest.
The youngest. The youngest.
Well, when I went back, right? I feel like I'm the youngest.
Okay.
I'm the
Right.
oldest,
But you're
treat me
big
like-
brother.
Huh?
You're big
I'm
brother.
the big brother. But
Okay.
I felt like they would treat me like the youngest one.
Okay.
Oh my God. I
Right.
love
It's your
that.
energy. It's your energy.
Right. Yeah.
So,
you're like, I'll take it. I'll take it.
No, great childhood. Of course, when I was in elementary,
Okay.
I was bullied a lot for 3 years. Very, very, very badly to a point I would have bruises and
Oh
all.
my gosh. Like actual abuse.
Yeah, abuse. Verbal abuse and physical abuse. I will never tell my parents. I'll never tell my I keep it to
Really?
myself, right?
Okay.
But again, I remember I was private schools. So I remember one time I told my dad, I don't want to go to private schools anymore. And there was a huge drama in my house. I worked so hard. I eat the best.
Of course.
And you want to go to public schools? Like, yes, I'm going to public school. So when I went to a public school for high school, I kind of mentally, physically, there's other things I want to say, but I don't want to give the wrong
Okay.
message.
No, of
but
course,
I
of course.
mentally and physically prepare myself. So when I walked in high school, I was so strong that I have all the girls around me. I had so much power that I became the president of the classroom and the entire school. And I had the power to expel some teachers.
No way.
That's something.
Okay. I love you for
So the
that. I love
bullying-
you for that.
For me,
Mm-hmm.
made me stronger.
Oh my God.
Not everybody's the same. But for
Right,
me,
right, right.
when I go back, actually, when I went to my hometown and we drove to that school,
Mhm.
and I said, oh, it looks like a horror movie still, right?
Okay, right,
I'm like,
right.
it brings so much memory, but
Yeah.
thank you, because that bullying that I went to 3 years, it really made me strong, and I had to be afraid of things. When I came to the US, I was only 18,
Mhm.
and people said, how did you do it? No English. You only knew 3 people. I wasn't afraid. It's like the worst already happened to me, so he prepared me. So I see the bullying that I went through, and everybody's different, right?
Yes.
It made me strong.
Wow.
And not be afraid of afraid.
Uh-huh.
Or to be afraid. I don't know.
Yes.
You got it right.
But at the same
So-
time, it's almost, yes, your parents were there and they, you know, showed you the way of life and everything, but you
Yes.
kind of kept all this from them. So it's almost like
They never
you
knew.
created this own mindset in your own self-being,
Yes.
which is so powerful because most people need that parent or need that brother or whatever it may
Yeah.
be to say, hey, like, shake yourself out of this.
Yeah,
But
because I
you were-
remember like I had bruises, and well, this is a hot humid town like Miami. I was walking with long sleeves because I had bruises, but I will never tell my parents. It was just me. I don't like it to myself into.
And it felt like
Now they know. I tell them and I laugh.
Okay.
Okay, well, didn't tell us anything.
Right.
Well, you know, I don't want to bother, but
Okay, okay.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you're laughing about it, but obviously the way you look at it is just different. You know, you see what value came out of that, even
Yeah.
though it was a very horrific time. You still
Yeah.
made something out of it.
Yeah, I actually have a friend who told the story, and I used to have like 2 nicknames, right? And one of them was at the moment was like horrible. People would give me that nickname. Hey, you, babe.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's not a bad word, but it's
Right. Okay.
So she liked it so much that she named one of her stuffed animal. Actually, it's called quack quack. That's the sound how a dog makes.
Okay.
okay.
But in Venezuela, when it's a quack quack means something else. Right?
Oh, okay. Got
So
it,
she named the stuffed animal quack quack. She's like, oh, that's my quack quack. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay.
Okay.
So
Oh my God.
you have to look back and see how the negativity made you stronger.
Mhm.
So I would say I am who I am thanks to my parents and my childhood. Also, the things that I went through, it built you who you are. But also, it made me more kind and more human.
Wow.
See,
Yes.
respect people, and move
Yes.
forward.
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
there's so much similarity to that because I used to get bullied a lot too when I was younger, and it actually made me stronger to be more of who I am. Even though I didn't come out of the closet till I was like 33, right about that time is when I met this dude. But it was
Dude, like, thanks to
this
me.
dude, close. He was well, he's
You
still a
know.
dude, But I was straight first, so I don't know what happened. It was a big stuff. But anyways, as we grew and I became stronger by all the bullying, all the negativity that surrounded me at school, at the college, universities I used to go to, even at work, people would actually support other people other than myself and be like, why are you firing me, not this guy who did the exact same thing? So I feel exactly how you felt that in that time frame because I actually my first language was Spanish, so I didn't have a very strong English language at first. So like you said, it's that status or that language keeps you separate from other people and it makes you feel like diminished of a human being, even though inside you're like pulsating with this. I have this thing that's meant for me. And I like that you have that drive because a lot of people that watch these podcasts, I don't think people really understand or grasp their being and understand like, hey, like I'm meant for greatness. I could do so much more. And they're hearing your story and they're like, wow, like Eduardo has such an amazing story that I can actually relate to.
Yes.
And people don't know how to shake it off, but
Right.
you do. And that's super powerful.
Yes, and I have to ask you about a word we were speaking about before, and we mentioned it. The word karma. It's really all coming back to you, and it's just, all you have to do is really put yourself out there, be a good person, believe, take what you want, and if you're being a good person, then that good is just gonna come back to you. Sometimes it's a delayed process, but it's all meant to be because you're literally sitting here today, fashion show, Boeing, everything that you ever believed in, but the whole time you were growing up and doing what you were doing, you were being a good person.
Yeah, I totally believe in karma. I'm gonna give you another thing.
Please.
In those 3 years that I was not having a job and trying to fight to survive, since I moved in Seattle, I remember that there's an event there that happens every year, which is a huge event where they raise a lot of money for a retirement home.
Okay.
It's a Christmas event where people they decorate Christmas trees for charity.
Oh,
It's
wow.
huge.
Beautiful.
It's a huge gala. And then I remember I decorated Christmas trees, and that tree was sold for over $20,000, and then get dollars for charity.
A Christmas tree.
A Christmas tree. So
Wow.
there was like 10 people, 12 people did a Christmas tree, huge gala, and then there was like $3 million. My Christmas tree wins People's Choice Award. It gets sold for over 20 or 50,000. I can't remember. I did it several years.
Yeah.
I did it through several years, but that particular year, 2006, I did that, and everybody's like, "Who is this kid?" Right?
Mhm.
And then finished. The gala was over. It snowed that day,
Wow.
and I had no money to go home. So I walked the snow. I walked all the way up like 2 miles to get to my in the snow. And I remember I walked to my room. It's like, I just did something for a charity and I have no money to eat.
And you literally walked home in the snow.
And so, and then back then I didn't tell anybody.
Oh my God.
For me.
Keep-
Now I tell it because I can
right.
say.
You keep not telling anybody. Like
Yeah,
you keep it
yeah,
to
I
yourself.
can do it. But I remember that Christmas, it was like my worst or best Christmas, depending how you want to see it.
Yes.
Like, oh, I love
Right.
Christmas, I have nothing, right?
Uh-huh.
So I went to the 99-cent store or something like that, and I bought a Christmas card for like the cheapest one. And I wrote a Christmas card to myself. And I wrote it says, "Congratulations, Eduardo, you made it." I sealed it, and every year I put it on a Christmas tree and said, well, this will not be open until I know it's time. 10 years later, I open it and it says, "Congrats." It was
Oh
like
my
me
God.
from the past saying to me in the future, "Congratulations, you made it."
Oh my.
So that was a really good Christmas. Believe it or not.
Okay, it was so
Right?
good. It was so.
Did she always
good.
had something in the tree?
Huh?
Obviously, you always have a present.
Well, that's actually that
Eli.
right.
Well, you did.
Actually, that card, note that I wrote for myself, it's still I still keep it on my Christmas tree. It's still
Okay.
there.
Yeah, I know.
And I
So,
can't.
yeah,
It's
oh,
like,
tree,
what is
there.
there? It's so simple. Oh, it means a lot.
Oh
But
my God.
so going back to bullying, right? Even when I did my first show, there was a lot of bullying on social media now, the new generation,
Yes.
the new era, not generation, the new era, right? Social media. So I remember when I started building Metropolitan Fashion Week and the shows, I will not go out. I will save my money
Mhm.
to invest in the company. websites, PRs. I
Yes.
would do everything.
Love
So I
it.
will not. Sometimes I will sleep in my car to save money for my meetings, so I don't have to drive. I did everything to make it happen, right?
Yes.
Because at the moment I couldn't hire people.
Got it.
I only had one suit. I think you heard that before.
Okay.
So I would combine my suit with other different jackets. So
And did you guys hear that he only had one suit? This is the founder of the Metropolitan.
Right.
Like, I'm just.
So
Wow.
people, we take photos with different events.
Uh-huh.
This is right before I launched Pokemon Fashion Week. And they say, he's a fashionista, but look, he only owns one suit. And then will show first me with different shirts or jackets, and they will make fun of me.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't really,
No
it was
way.
like, oh, I want to say something. So all what I did is block and delete, block and delete,
Okay.
block all these people, right? Instead
Of course.
fighting. And then 2 years later, as Metropolitan Fashion is growing, I get a sponsor. Since then, it's been sponsoring me all my suits. and jackets.
Oh,
Fabulous.
my
So,
God.
what did I do?
Congrats.
Fight on social media,
Huh.
or just keep it quiet and move on. So that's what I decided to do. So it's one thing that I always tell the new generation: when social media is going to rip you apart, the best thing you can do is not lower yourself. As somebody says, when they go low, you go high, right?
That's right.
So you just delete them, block them from you completely, just dry, like
Yes.
delete them, right? And so on and so positive people, and that's what I did. And all those people who actually did that negativity, where are they now? Where are
Right.
you now?
Where are you now?
Oh,
We don't know.
I
We
think
don't-
I've seen him in LA somewhere.
Or we
Yeah.
haven't seen him. We haven't.
Oh, I have.
Well, that was in Seattle, right? But,
Oh,
No,
they're,
yeah.
they're in
Yeah.
LA now.
I'll give you one note talking about karma.
Yes.
Oh, I did
please.
mention earlier that you don't know if the person who was cleaning your house today in the future is going to be your doctor.
Yeah.
So be careful how we treat
Yes.
people.
Yes.
I'll give you an example. Like 10 years ago, right when I was starting Metropolitan Fashion, and like I was called up for a meeting. I'm like, well, I'm only wearing jeans and a baseball cap backwards and tennis
Okay.
shoes.
Okay.
Which I like to wear that when I'm not, right?
I like that. That's
And
so
then-
chill.
Right.
Yeah.
No, just come over here. So I arrived to this place in West Hollywood. I walk in and it's a fabulous place. And I'm
Love
sitting
it.
there like, and people, you can see people's like, what is this guy doing here, right? And then one girl, she said, who are you? I'm Eduardo. No, but who are you? Like, there's a different way. Who are you?
Yes.
than Who are you?
Exactly.
Right? So she was literally like, and then one designer was standing, he knew who I was, and he was like, oh, she just messed it up.
Oh
So she
my
said,
God.
but who are you? Who, like, at the end, so I'm Eduardo Khawam. And then he tells her, Eduardo is the president and founder of Metropolitan Fashion Week. As soon as he said that, her attitude changed from, who are you? Oh my gosh, I love you so much. I want to work with you like this. And I'm just
Wow.
listening. Keep talking,
Okay.
keep talking. Can I have your phone number? Blah,
Oh my
blah.
God.
And this is what I do. Here's the email of my assistant. You can email her. Hashtag eat it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That is the best
Oh
like
my
comeback
God.
ever.
So that's why you have to be very, especially in Hollywood, right? Like you
Yes.
think you're better than anybody?
Mhm.
Come on, you're not gonna
Right.
get anywhere.
Oh my
Steve
God.
Carell, all the big sellers are there who they are because they have good attitude.
Right.
When you come in with a bad attitude, the people are watching and you don't know who you're
Yes.
talking. Who
Right.
you're talking to.
You
Exactly.
totally like
She
you
just
get-
lost her chance to be part of it.
Oh no,
my
of course.
God.
I mean, you
Karma.
Yeah.
Karma.
Because, even going back really
Yeah.
quick, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But
Yeah.
just, you explained karma so well. You literally were walking in the snow and you had no food, but you still, out of the kindness of your heart, had that charity done. It took 10 years though, you guys, but I mean, that's one of
Yeah.
those I have the chills right now. Like, I want to cry. Like, it's one of the most amazing stories ever if you just have good karma.
Yeah, it'll come for you.
Oh my God.
So that was like part of the 3 year of hardship, and then little by little. But I remember one point, when you doubt yourself, like, why did I just do this for this charity when I have nothing? Like, you doubt yourself, and it's okay, well, calm down. You just somebody wise like you do.
Okay.
I only was eating like instant soup.
Yes. Right. Right.
I look fabulous. I look
Yeah,
very
those are
thin.
good sometimes.
Okay. It was a
Those are
good
for the
night.
diet.
It was a good
I was so fed walking on the snow and walking on
Oh my God. You were like, this
no
kind of
car,
matters.
nothing.
Right.
So
Oh
anyhow,
my God.
but that's part of
Mhm.
life.
It was a snow runway. You were just on a little
Yeah,
runway.
it was
It was snow.
I was
Right.
Wearing like not shoes for the snow.
Oh yeah, that's
You know.
I could only imagine what
Like,
happened.
run,
Oh my God.
run for your
Oh my God.
So I
Yeah.
want to talk to you really briefly about the main event that's coming up in September. So you got
We
the
forgot about all that.
Metropolitan.
right. Oh
Yeah,
my
we're
God.
too
So
excited.
good.
We forgot about the
This is
meeting.
so amazing.
You can always fast forward or go back.
Right.
Yeah. So talk,
Rewind, actually.
Yeah.
This is really good. This is really good.
so talk to us about this event. Like this is happening. This is going on this year, and it's been going on for years. What's the whole purpose of this event? How is it coming together? What is the goal, and what is the theme of this?
Yeah, so every year, so very important, we still do shows in Seattle, which is the birthplace of Metropolitan Fashion
Okay.
Week. Palm Springs. This year was
One
our
of the
second year in
best.
Palm Springs. We just did one in Venezuela, and we did a few shows in Vegas.
Okay.
But in Los Angeles, this is going to be a 12th anniversary, 12th year in
Congrats.
And thank you. And every year we have a different theme and different venues.
Okay.
But always the opening night, always we have one night that it's open to the public
Okay.
for families and upcoming designers.
Beautiful.
And that takes place at the original farmers market next to the Grove.
Oh, that's
we
nice. So
love
that's
it
easy
there.
access for people.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
easy access.
Oh,
Everybody's
definitely.
welcome.
Great area.
And great area.
Mhm.
And then there be the original farmers market is being hosting the opening ceremony of one of the family event for the last 12 years.
Wow.
So
okay.
that's
Love
gonna be a
that.
fabulous
Love that.
event. And then we have other mini shows in between, but the main gala, the closing gala,
Yes.
we've done it at Warner Brothers Studios, Grayson Mansion, Beverly Hills, Los Angeles City Hall, Los Angeles City Hall.
Mhm.
This year is going to be at the Ronald Reagan Library.
Oh.
Not getting into politics again,
Right,
of course,
right,
but
yes. Another friend.
I always wanted to do something in
Yes.
Simi Valley at the library. It was just a gorgeous.
And
venue.
we've been there. It is so
Oh
gorgeous
my
there. We
God.
went there for like a candlelight violin thing, and
Yeah.
when you walk in, it's like, where am I? Like,
And it
it's-
doesn't feel like politics.
No, it
feels
doesn't.
like
No.
part of history.
It does.
It
It
feels
has
like
like
it's
very important.
Very historical.
Yeah.
And can you tell us why these buildings are so important that you choose? Because I know any fashion show could just pick anywhere, but you guys have a specific on why you choose
Because
your
when,
buildings.
when I found them at Fashion Elements, because I love architecture,
Mhm.
I said, let's do, to be different, let's do an historical buildings, iconic locations museum.
Mhm.
Because you as a guest, you also not just sitting and watching the show, but you have an experience of enjoying this building or the
Yes.
museum,
Right.
right?
The feel of the building.
The feel of the building,
Mhm.
and it's just grand, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the start of the night is beside the fashion designer is the actual architecture, it's actually the building.
Fantastic.
Why the Ronald Reagan Library is I also want to do something there. There's actually an Air Force One.
There is.
Yeah, I
there
already saw
is.
that. We know where it's at.
Oh,
Yes,
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 right.
right.
Yeah.
Right. The planes are there. The fashion's
Yeah.
there.
So
Oh my God.
yeah, I mean, finally this is it's happening this year, and every year we have a theme. So I
Mhm.
think I did mention previous theme was world architecture,
Yes.
pop art,
Mm-hmm.
King Tut, Greek mythology. This year's Symphony of Fashion. That is
Wow.
the theme.
Wow.
The closing gala is going to be on Saturday, September 28th.
Okay. Okay.
And what else I was going to say? Oh yes, very important. The difference between Metropolitan Fashion Week and other fashion weeks.
yes.
Most fashion weeks are for buyers.
Mhm.
In our case, it's for the Hollywood industry. Who
Wow.
attends? Producers, directors, celebrities, stylists, and people who buy tickets who love fashion.
Mhm.
Also, buyers are invited.
Mhm.
But most of the things you're going to see on the runway are formal wear for men and women, gowns, avant-garde looks. But every year we ask each designer who wants to be part of the show, we want you to create a fashion masterpiece, which is not a costume, it's not a gown, it's just a fashion masterpiece that can be put in a museum.
Oh
right?
wow.
So this year the theme is Symphony of Fashion. Let each designer create their own thing about it.
I love that
That's
name.
so
It's so
amazing.
smooth. Oh,
It
and
really is.
and don't forget your beautiful coats are going to be there, and your suits and your fashion as well.
Yeah, so this year for the first time we're creating the Metropolitan makes
God.
formal wear, right?
Yeah.
We're launching on
Oh
September
my God.
which I think you guys gonna be part of it.
Oh, oh my God.
Honored,
Yes,
honored,
it's
guys.
gonna
You
be
guys will
so
see that.
amazing. Oh my God.
So we're very excited, and there's also we're launching a candle.
Yes.
Candy Looks is launching
Yes.
a candle. Metropolitan Fashion Week. It's called Masterpiece because of the masterpiece.
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
God. I can't wait to smell
Yeah.
that.
That's gonna be
Oh my
great.
God.
But also the whole museum here in Hollywood, which when you go there, it's 3 to 4 floors.
Mhm.
Is the old Max Factor building, and they have costumes from motion picture and television, and they actually have 2 fashion masterpieces from true designers at the museum. One from Venezuelan designer Douglas Tapia and Eric Bendaño from Nicaragua.
Wow.
So that's what we call the fashion masterpieces art,
Yes.
but it can be put in a museum.
That is so
Wow.
beautiful. That is so beautiful. I love that. And so one thing about me and Eli, because I feel like we connect with you so much. We have been building our bit industry and our real estate and our loans for about 13 years. And one thing I can say is, we have been successful. but we were not able to do it without each other. Of course, we could have done it on our own, but having a partner has truly maximized our potential. It's been so amazing. Obviously, there's ups and downs,
Yeah.
but again, the end
We're like the
result,
scale, the balance.
you know,
He's usually the heavier one, and I'm like the lighter one. So I
right?
try a little harder to meet his
Yeah,
requirements.
I'm like real heavy, no, just kidding. But for you, you have a partner as well, and do you believe the success is because of the power of two? You guys doing this together?
Actually, Metropolitan Fashion Week, it is what it is now
Mhm.
because of the absolutely beautiful, amazing team I have.
Love it.
From the
Love
fashion
that.
directors, from the malls director, from the executive producer, from the talent director. So it's a very small team, but I surrounded myself with an amazing, amazing team that
Wow.
everybody brings something
Yes.
beautiful onto the table.
I love
Which
that.
and the most important thing is to bring, because in this industry everything's kind of crazy or can be very superficial.
Yes.
But everybody tries to be calm and just have a good time and respect each other.
Right.
That's
So
fascinating. Wow.
so it's very important to surround myself with an amazing partner, amazing team.
Yes, and
Love
same
that.
for us. Our team has just also maximized us
Yeah.
so much. We have our personal partner. I don't even like calling her my assistant because she's our partner. Literally, without her, I don't know what I would do. Our videographer, like everybody behind the scenes.
Yes.
If we didn't have this, I don't even know who would be.
Yeah.
today,
In this case, like me and Yvin Carrera, who was who kind of pushed me to be just the consumer designer.
yes,
She's one of the fashion directors, just like Nazik Tuchian.
Mhm.
But also Paul Jaramillo, who's the executive producer, that you guys know him. He actually is very good at managing the money because I'm the kind of
Very
person who
important.
will run the car
Uh-huh.
left and right
Right.
and down, right?
Yes,
So it's
yes.
good at that and see the vision of sponsorship and all of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
So everyone has a time that delivers there. Yes.
Right.
So I have a couple more questions. One is like, are you able to name a couple of the most biggest celebrities that have actually walked your shows before?
So the first model who walked the runway in World Fashion Week in Los Angeles, Pacific City Hall,
Yes.
was the first American Next Top model. Do you remember? who she was?
Miss Curry?
Adrian.
That's-
Yes.
Wow.
Oh my
Well,
God.
okay.
No way.
So she was the
Okay.
first one, right? And then when we did that at the Warner Brothers Studio, we had a Vivica Fox.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
That's one of the models.
Wow.
And then if you go to our webpage, you can see we have a list of all the celebrities who walked around.
Okay.
There's so many. They're all amazing. They're all cool.
Mhm.
But also very important, every year we support a charity. I forgot
Yes.
to say that. Right?
Okay.
Right.
Every year, like one time, 2015, at Warner Brothers, we did one segment where each designer created one masterpiece in
Mhm.
pink, 50 Shades of Pink. It was the year of the 50 Shades of Grey, and all the most were breast cancer survivor.
Okay.
wow.
2016, Warner Brothers was all red carpet blue because it was for Autism Speaks.
Oh my God.
And and this year we're supporting Race to Race MS. So
I love how you always
how
have a cause.
we always highlight as a cause.
I love that.
Yeah.
So another question I have for you. So where are you headed with all this? What's the end result of all your magical beings of doing all these shows and getting people together and all this energy you're putting into this big thing you created? Where is it all going to? What have you considered, like, what's the end result of what all this magic is going to do for you?
Yeah. So in 2022, we did a show, and I felt like it was Metropolitan reached the top.
Okay.
So a few days after, I announced on social media, Metropolitan is over. I'm done. So when it finished,
I missed that. When that happened?
2022.
Okay.
I said I'm done with Fashion Week. I think with the cycle it's closed.
Right.
And I finished it on a high note, right?
Yes.
Before people say, "Let's boring," the same thing all over, right?
Mm.
And then in December, people challenged me looking for challenge. And they
Don't
want-
challenge
Is
Eduardo.
this the second
Do not
challenge?
challenge Eduardo. Do not.
So
Oh,
I give you a quick example, right? Like,
Okay.
hey, like I cannot believe you do another show. And then a person said, if you were to do a show, where would you do it?
Okay.
And I said, I will do it at a winery because my team wants me to do it at a winery. And I said, if I get you one, would you do it? So you have 3 days. And they got one.
Okay.
So
Okay. They
do
do.
another
They
one.
do. Okay.
So why I am back, why Fashion Week is back after taking out like 2 months off,
Yes.
supposedly.
Right. Or zero.
What keeps
You
what
know.
keeps it going is the designers' energy, the models. When we announce and the next Metropolitan Fashion Week is at when, where, what, and to see how they are so excited and they're so happy, that's what I'm doing. That's the energy that feed from, and that's something like when we did it in Caracas, I got there and there was 280 models drove from all over to be at the casting just because they want to be part of the show. When I see them and they come to you, like they want to be part of it, that's the energy to say, I need to keep this going.
Wow.
I'm not gonna do this forever, so I would love to find somebody. I don't know if it's already here or it's gonna happen.
Right.
That you take over.
Wow.
I love
I'm
that.
not gonna do this forever.
Oh my God.
No, and I mean, you're still in your 20s anyway.
Right. You're the youngest family member, so you know.
Well, oldest but youngest. But
Okay, yeah.
I think that they'll so what keeps
That's
it going
beautiful.
is the attitude of the designers, the models, my team. No, we gotta do it. So their energy, their attitude actually brought me back to you.
That like drives you to just want to
Yeah.
continue.
Sometimes when I announce the venue, it's like you guys are more excited than I am. I'm supposed to be more
Right.
excited, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
makes me keep going. They're like my battery that I need to keep going.
Wow.
Well, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, Eduardo, I want to really thank you for being on the show. Honestly, you are just full of light, a lot more than what we even anticipated. Not that we anticipated anything bad,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like, you've been flying everywhere, doing these amazing shows. Cirque du Soleil, I mean, that's our
my
favorite
God,
thing.
literally.
in the
So
world.
amazing.
And the world just opened up to all your dreams because of all the challenges you've gone through. And karma kicked some people in the ass and
Right.
gifted you with
Yes.
some amazing things too. And
But let me pause you. I've done some bad things in my
Oh,
life.
have
and
you?
comes out with me. Not too
Okay.
bad.
I need Paul.
I love it.
But-
Oh my God.
Not too bad, but you know what? It's like, oh, I should have did that. This is why this happened.
Yeah. We've had those moments.
You know, like, I'll go through that. Nobody's
Yes,
perfect.
yes.
Exactly.
But I totally believe in karma, and I tell everybody, it's like, if you want to do something, whatever you want to do, be the best at it. If you have to clean a restroom at the mall, be the best at it.
Wow.
Because people are watching, and you may be the owner of our next mall. As an example.
Wow. No, that's
Be the
so
best.
supreme. That
Wow.
is so.
That's a great
amazing.
message. And honestly, everybody can take a portion of that page from you.
You want to be the real best real estate, be the best at it no matter what, and then someday you're going to have your empire.
There you
There you
go.
go.
In every field, it's not just about fashion.
Right,
Of course.
right. I think this
So-
this episode is gonna touch so many hearts. I cried like 3 times. It was so amazing.
Makeup.
Right. But one thing we always like to ask also, so our audience knows, where could everybody find you? And do you have is this gonna be your main site right here at Eduardo?
So the
Metropolitan
Khawam is
Fashion.
personal one. And then, of course, for Metropolitan Fashion Week, you can go to our Instagram. Our temporary website is runwayfx.com. When you go there, you can find out when, where, what. If you want to see what celebrity have walked the runway, who attended to the shows, everything you need to know. Also, very important, during COVID,
Yes.
our team was able to teach people. Like people ask, how did you start in the industry? It was $200.
Mhm.
So we offer 6 workshops where we teach everybody from zero all the way how to get the service to your shows, how to get your sponsors, and all of that. If I was able to do it, I'm sure that you guys can do it.
I'm
Oh my
sure.
God! And where can they find this? Oh my God!
It's on the website. All the information is there,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So this is what I believe. I believe I did this with English as my third language, and I'm sure you, with the perfect English, can do better.
There you go.
And the only thing that's keeping you back is you.
Love that.
So
Yeah,
powerful.
Such a great message.
Yes.
Eduardo, thank you so much for being here. Guys,
Thank
you're going to
you.
watch these amazing reels,
Right.
the full YouTube video. Honestly, much love for you guys. Enjoy this show, and we cannot wait to walk the
with you.
runway.
Yes. Oh my God! yes.
Oh my God, I'm anxious.
Gracias.
We
Thank
love
for
you so
everything.
much. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching.
So, bye, guys.
Ciao.